This is the Reds POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Cincinnati Reds. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, Reds fans, and welcome to another edition of the POSTCAST, brought to you by Locked On Reds and the Locked On Podcast Network. I am Tim Daniel. I am a lifelong Cincinnati Reds fan, and I've been podcasting about this team for 5 years at publications such as Late Night Reds and The Riverfront, and I want to thank you all for spending some time with me today as we discuss the Cincinnati Reds taking an unfortunate, disappointing, frustrating loss to the Chicago Cubs 6-1 at Wrigley Field. If you're just checking my show out for the first time, welcome. I am so glad to have you here. Please be sure to hit that notification button so you can not only get my show after each and every Reds game, but you can get Jeff Carr and Stephen Offenbaker Monday through Friday on Locked On Reds. On this episode today is also brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. On today's show, the Reds lost today, and I'm not really upset about the loss. I'm more upset about the fact that they looked like they were just going through the motions out there. Andrew Abbott was fine, wasn't his best self, wasn't his worst self. And this is a series that Ellie De La Cruz probably wants to forget. So we're going to discuss all those things and a whole lot more. And if I do get some live audience here, of course, I'm going to hear from you and hear what you guys have to say. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we?
This is what you'll be talking about.
Now, it's definitely hard to be upset when you get 2 out of 3 because that's what you shoot for. And that's what we said the Reds had to do in this series. So they did their job. They took care of business. And I understand sweeping a team is really hard. It's very, very difficult. But today, the Reds just didn't look like they wanted to be playing baseball. It looked like they had just moved on. It looked like they were just over what happened yesterday. And I don't know if they just exhausted a lot of energy in those first 2 games in this series, but today looked like they wanted to be anywhere else but on the field. And I'm sure playing 162 of these, you're going to have those days. But the body language was terrible. They just looked like a team that didn't care. The at-bats showed that. They weren't competitive. Defensively, they were solid. Noel V. Marte had that really nice play in right field. They ran down the foul pole. And Johnny says right here, it looks like they were happy with being with 2 out of 3. It looks like they felt like they were playing with house money today. I wouldn't say they didn't think this game didn't count by any means, but the Cubs certainly looked like they had far more urgency than the Reds. And you expect that, words are hard, when the team is trying not to get swept in their home field. I get it. But the Cubs basically are sitting pretty right now, even with how bad they've played of late, right? They're 18 games over 500. As far as the wild card goes, they currently have the wild card spot. So they're not really facing the urgency of the Reds are. They're 3.5 up on the Padres. They're not facing the urgency the Reds are. So the fact the Reds didn't get up for this game today is really, really irritating. It's really frustrating. And it's disappointing. Like I said, I'm happy with 2 out of 3. I'm glad they took the series. I'm glad they won the games the way they did. But the way that they played today, it just made me feel like they didn't want to be there. And it was disappointing. I don't think that's the case. I certainly don't think that, I understand you're going to have lulls. You're going to have bad days at the ballpark. And you're going to lose, right? I mean, it's part of the job. It's part of the process. But I cannot sit here and come on here and talk about how excited I was the first 2 games and how well they played, and then go out here today and just kind of be like, it's fine. It's okay. It certainly is great that they won the series, like I said, but this was just not how things should go. Especially, you got a bad Pirates team coming up who just traded a ton of guys away. Someone to you at that, mind you. But they got the big dog taking the hill tomorrow. So are you confident the Reds could win 3 in a row against the Pirates? They already have once this year. And, can they win tomorrow? Can they take 3 out of 4 in this series? They have. I mean, it feels like they have to stay afloat with San Diego and the Mets. And even the Giants, who have won their last 2 games. So today was just frustrating. And like Carrie says here, they probably need to win 90 plus to get in the playoffs. So they're going to have to win 4 games a week. And I don't see that happening, that they can win 4 games a week. You would love to say that's the case. But the lack of hitting at times is starting to show. That's what's frustrating. So if you look at today, I mean, Austin Hayes has that double. That was like the biggest hit of the day for the Reds. And then they had, 4 hits today and 12 strikeouts. No walks. And again, you tip your hat to Cade Horton. Cade Horton was really good today. Respect it. But for the Reds to just give themselves no chance today, that's really discouraging and really disappointing, because today was a game that you could have lost and been okay with it and been like, they lost 4-3 or 3-2. And you're like, okay, that's a bummer. Just things can go their way. Just being non-competitive today was so frustrating. And you got to get together. You got a big division series coming up again against a team that doesn't care to win either. So you should, if you play the right way, be able to get some wins in this Pittsburgh series. But we'll see how they show up. So great series overall. Just a really, really frustrating way to lose today. Andrew Abbott, though, I thought, as always, like I say this with these Red starting pitchers, gave them a chance to win today, even though he wasn't his best self. Let's talk about that more right after this. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building your wealth. I really love to use Fanatics. I love to use it for everything to get, as far as like my daily wear, my collectibles, you name it. And I just realized quickly after I started using Monarch Money that I was spending too much money at Fanatics. And so I had to take a step back and realize a bit more picky and choosy with my purchases there. And now with Monarch Money, it makes it a little easier for when I can game plan to make that purchase. You also can take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Today's episode is brought to you by Gameday Hue, and so is this hat I'm wearing. For Reds fans like me, this one hits the mark. Gameday Hue makes clean, no-logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. It's all about letting your colors speak for you. No giant logos, just smart, versatile style that works on game days, on the course, or anywhere in between. I love wearing this hat whether I'm out on a walk with the family, I go to the gym. It's just really comfortable and it's very breathable, and it's really nice to have around. It fits perfectly with my usual Reds gear, as you can see with my shirt today. It doesn't replace my team's logo stuff. It just adds to the lineup. It's kind of the hat that reps your team without screaming it. Subtle, but still says everything. And it's not just hats. Be sure to check out their split shade gloves. I used mine the other day at Topgolf, and it was the perfect gift for the fan who has everything. Right now, you can get 15% off with MLB15 at GamedayHue.com. That's GamedayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals, so now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GamedayHue.com, code MLB15. Want to shout out our everydayers here on the Postcast for spending some time with me today, though it wasn't our best day as a Reds fan, as they do take the frustrating 6-1 loss to the Chicago Cubs today. Like I said, if you are just checking me out for the first time, thank you so much. Please be sure to hit that notification button, and also be sure to follow along so you can get my show Monday through Friday with Jeff and Steve Monday through Friday with Locked On Reds as well. And of course, after you listen to us, go check out Sully at Locked On MLB Daily. They watch every single game, so you don't have to. All right, let's talk about the turning point in today's game.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
I mean, there's a lot of those, but I think Dansby Swanson's homer kind of made you feel like the Reds were doomed today after they made it 3-0. So there was that. Andrew Abbott today wasn't his best self, but when a guy goes out there and pitches and gives you 6 2/3 and has you competitive in a game, you can't be too mad at them. I don't feel like he was this super sharp, that guy he has been. I feel like, the guy who beat the Cubs twice already this year, had the 2 Cubs wins this season. I felt like we had to get back to that probably, and we couldn't get it today. And that happens. It's fine. I mean, the 2 homers were frustrating. I don't think it's, the wind at Wrigley, definitely the Cubs played to their advantage. The Reds couldn't seem to figure it out. Suzuki hits that homer in the 6th. Swanson hits this in the 7th. But also the kind of the situation where he just wasn't finishing his pitches at times. It felt like he was kind of like Johnny says it here. He was getting ahead early, but he's still not, and he still competed enough to keep the Reds in the game. Not getting ahead early in the count. Sorry. That's 100% right. And like Harry says here, the good news is the Lodolo news is coming back better than expected. Sounds like Hunter's probably going to have one more start in Louisville. Sounds like he's starting to throw the ball pretty well. You saw what you got from Zach Littell yesterday. So they're in good shape pitching wise. It's just the thing that, it was a missed opportunity today for them. And, as Kerry just reported, the Mets lost again today as well. So a chance for the Reds to kind of gain some more ground didn't happen. And on the other end, the bullpen was just kind of hearsay. So they only threw an inning in a third today. Luis May did give up a inherited runner from Abbott. So Abbott does not qualify for a quality start today, which is frustrating. And then old good pal Yosfer Zulueta gives up a couple runs as well, and that just made it very frustrating. So just a bad day all around to be a Reds fan. But hey, they got the series. Yeah, should have been better. Ellie De La Cruz is one guy who cannot wait to get out of Chicago after the series he had. Let's talk about that here in a moment. But first, here's our Locked On Player of the Game.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
TJ Friedl swinging in with the Locked On Player of the Game with 2 of the Reds' 4 hits today and the lone run scored in the 9th inning when Austin Hayes knocked him in on a ground out. So congrats to TJ on that one, but overall didn't matter. Kerry says, but still Tim Bristol was worth. Bristol was, I'm trying to get over it. I haven't yet. It was just a very bad experience. So Ellie De La Cruz obviously had a series in Chicago that was really irritating. 2 hits in the whole series, and that's going to happen in a 3-game stretch, obviously. But in the series goes, let's see, 2 for 13, if I have my numbers correctly, with 5 strikeouts. No walks. When Ellie is walking, everything changes for this team. And that didn't happen in this series. And then the RBI double on the first game was awesome. Obviously played a huge part in the winning that game. And the hit today just kind of kept the 9th inning going to make you think they could potentially have a rally in them. But offensively, he was really bad in this 3-game stretch. Big picture, he has been really bad for a while now. I'm not going to go and say like he's in this everlong slump, but you definitely need him to be better than he has been his last 7 games. That 233 batting average, that 258 on base. He's walked 1 time in his last 7 games. He's walked 7 times in his last 15 games. So really what we see from Ellie, like I said, when he's walking, he's giving you more chances to score runs. And it looked like this game particularly, he swung at a lot of pitches down in the dirt, and his pitch selection is something that's really improved over the year. And today it just kind of looked like he was back to the Ellie that really kind of irritates us and really frustrates us at times as Reds fans because we know how good he is. I'm not saying that he's not going to be very good. I'm not saying that he's going to have this long slump. I just am pointing out that they needed him to be better this series. Now, defensively, he made some really good plays in this series. Today, made a really nice play. But if he's going to be the guy that everyone says he is, and part of that is, look, Austin Hayes isn't delivering, guys. Let's just be honest. Austin Hayes is not giving the Reds what they need. And I think that plays a part in that for Ellie De La Cruz as well. He's 3 for his last 25. He has 9 strikeouts. So if that's the guy you have protecting Ellie in the lineup, teams aren't going to be afraid to throw at him. They're not going to be afraid to throw things at they see if they can trick him. And they tricked him today. Gavin Lux today, really bad. 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Tyler Stevenson today, 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. And part of that is the umpiring. I agree. But they did not give themselves any chances to win this game by swinging in everything. And then also, the umpiring part was probably 7% of it. The other 93 was just non-disciplined at bats. But again, give credit to Cade Horton. He was the man today for the Cubs, and you just got to respect it. But now we move on. We get out of nasty Chicago, Illinois. Actually, I really love Chicago. It's a really fun city. And we go to nasty, disgusting, filthy Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for 4 games with the Pirates as the Cincinnati Reds will face the Buccos tomorrow. But first, I skipped myself closing out today's game. The The Reds do lose 6-1. The Cubs have 6 runs on 11 hits and an error. The Reds have 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. Cade Horton's the winner. He is now 6-3. Andrew Abbott just gets his second loss of the season. He is now 8-2 on the year. So yes, the Redlegs head to Pittsburgh tomorrow for a matchup with the Pittsburgh Pirates. In first pitch is at 6:40, and Brady Singer will take the hill for the Reds. He is 9-8 with a 4.3 ERA. He'll be going against the almighty Paul Skeens, who is 6-8 with a 2.02. So with first pitch being at 6:40, let's game plan for me being here. Say game ends at a rational time, 9:30, 9:45 or so. Let's shoot for it. Thank you guys so much for spending some time with me today. I'm Tim Daniel. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I'll see you all tomorrow night.